Why do some people feel completely happy being by themselves, but others are lonely even when they're in a room full of people? I can't say I figured all this out yet, and I don't think I ever will, but I wanted to share my experience and what I've learned so far about being alone as an extrovert. I really think that this topic is super important to talk about because of everything that's going on in our world today with the pandemic. You know, I've been so grateful to have this time to myself, because when else am I going to be forced to stay at home and do things like self-reflect? So last year I took a leap, dropped everything, and moved out of state on my own. And at the time I had depression and anxiety, and you could tell that already wasn't an easy thing for me to do. But that ended up being the best decision of my life, which I'll talk about a little later. A question I get asked a lot is, don't you ever get lonely? Yeah, sometimes I do. But the feeling of loneliness, no matter how strong it is, doesn't even compare to the happiness I feel when I'm actually embracing solitude. I've learned that the difference between being alone and loneliness is emotion. Being alone just means that you're by yourself. It's a state of being and it's neutral. Being lonely is a negative feeling, the feeling of not being heard or understood. Yeah, you can be lonely when you're alone, but it doesn't have to be that way. I think it's important to talk about the intention behind why we're alone. Because if there's no reason for it, whether it be to relax, to reflect, or even to create something, then there's really no aim. Not having an aim might make you feel like you're just wasting time, and that might also add to loneliness. Add depressive thoughts in there, and it's kind of like adding firewood to a fire that's already burning strong. Like, that shit hurts, dude. So from the title of this video, of course you know that I am an extrovert. I'm a freaking social butterfly whenever I go out. But when I wasn't around other people, I just felt really disconnected, almost like it was like a out-of-body experience, and I couldn't figure it out. It just felt like there was something wrong with me. But I realized that feeling was because when no one else was around, when there was no more noise, no more music, just dead silence, I was left alone with my thoughts, and I didn't know who the hell I was. I'm not gonna lie, I hated who I was. I wasn't passionate about anything in my life. I thought everything was boring. I was super negative, and I was also around a lot of other people who were negative as well. And again, it's like feeding that fire with more firewood. Like, I was voluntarily putting myself in those situations because I felt like I needed to be around people. Like, did I even enjoy their company? Probably not. But it had to be better than being sad alone, right? There's no doubt that it's a basic human need to be with and connect with other people. But I'd argue that being by yourself, learning how to be on your own, is even more important. I don't know about you guys. That's just me. Moving out of state on my own was a blessing in disguise. But at the time, I was fucking terrified. I was so terrified to move, and I remembered crying my eyes out as I was packing all my boxes, and the reason for that was because I'd never been by myself. Like, I've always had my family, my friends, or a significant other to run to whenever I was sad or lonely. Like, if I felt sad, how would I ever make it go away? Would I be able to make it go away? Like, I didn't even trust myself. I can genuinely say that I love being by myself now, but how did I even get here? You know, from someone who was scared to death to be by themselves to now preferring it. I had to make friends with myself. All right, that sounds kind of weird, but hear me out. I had no idea who I was, what I liked, what I didn't like, and it was almost like trying to connect with a stranger. So now I had the opportunity to start over and get back in touch with myself, like whatever that means. So the things that I love to do with other people, I just started doing on my own. You know, I picked up old hobbies that I hadn't had the time for, and even picked up new ones too. I even entered a photography contest for a magazine. Like, what? I didn't win, but look at the dope shots that came out of that experience. I wanted to do so much more and prove to myself that I could survive and have fun on my own. I didn't realize that I was capable of doing so many things without other people. And it was such a sense of relief to know that I didn't need anyone else to make me happy, but me. Like, it was actually possible. And guys, I did a bunch of random things. Like, I didn't even know if I would like doing them. And I think I fell in love with the process of it. I started really enjoying the time I had to myself. And honestly, that feeling only came when I finally embraced being alone. And I was putting myself in those situations and building up new opportunities for myself to grow. Like, I did that for myself, and you guys can too. There are so many things that you're capable of. There's so much to see, so much to learn in this lifetime, and there's so many people that you haven't met yet who's gonna change your life. And that's why I think it's so important for us to work on ourselves when we're alone, to know who we are so that when we meet people in the future, or even for people that we have relationships with in our life right now, that we're able to give them love unconditionally because we know that love for ourselves. And then when we hang out with people, it'll be because we want to hang out with them and that we like their company. It won't be because we need to be around them. But I will say that loneliness is just a really painful experience to go through. And if you feel like you're having trouble going through it alone, there's definitely no shame in that. I totally get that. When I start feeling that way, I usually FaceTime my family or friends when I feel like I just need to talk. I've also been in therapy for many years, and it helps so much to talk to an unbiased person about things that are going on in your life. But of course, just something to think about if you feel like you need extra help or an extra boost. And as Wayne Dyer said, you cannot be lonely if you like the person you're alone with. And when I'm alone now, I know that I'm in good company. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I just wanted to say that I'm super proud of you and all that you're doing to better yourself. Like, I know how hard it is to keep going sometimes, but you got this. We got this. Also, Merry Christmas. Look at that tree. Look at that pretty tree. Merry Christmas if you celebrate it, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye. Oh my god. This guy's been moving. I don't like moving stuff for like the last 2 hours. Like, bruh. Let's go up there and beat their ass. Come on. I'm trying to record I'm trying to record a music video. You guys want a music video?